Joining us now with stories trending around the world is OjyOkpe. Good morning,
Dr. Abasi, welcome back. Looking dapper in your red bow tie. Ayo, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great. It's
Perfect.
a bright morning.
Yes.
Today.
Good morning. Rufy on fire. How are you this morning?
Good.
Well,
Let's
all right.
go straight to it.
Perfect. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending in Lagos State, where the Lagos State government over the weekend demolished at least 100 properties in Oworonshoki's Ojulari and Coca Street areas, leaving families homeless amid clashes with police and alleged thugs who beat residents and looted belongings. Residents in the Koshofe local government area of the state resisted the government's plan to continue demolitions under the ongoing urban regeneration project, leading to security operatives shooting tear gas canisters as residents campered for safety after officials arrived with bulldozers. Let's take a look.
The massive resistance by the people of Precious Sea. And this is the Lagos State Task Force with their tear gas and their caterpillar again. They are about to demolish. They are telling people to arrange and to leave their houses and their lands.
Now they have demolished our house. We don't have a place to stay. I don't have house. See me. I don't have house. Just when they demolish our house. Today now they still want to demolish. What do we do? What can we do for the government?
Look at what Lagos State Task Force are doing to us. We resist. We will stand our ground. We are not to be taught. As you can see, we are all tear gas in our houses. But the people are resisting. They are saying no to a land grabbing Temu Pharaoh, call himself a king.
Fortunately, this confrontation marks the latest escalation in a months-long dispute over the demolitions in that area. The controversy began after several buildings were demolished in September, triggering protests on the Third Mainland Bridge, with residents saying bulldozers moved in at night and demolished houses without adequate notice, leaving many families homeless. Well, on Sunday, a video emerged showing a bulldozer demolishing a house, allegedly with people still inside. Let's take a look.
They are going to kill people in the house. They are going to kill people. They are going to kill people. There are people inside their house. There are people inside this house.
People will get rich for this area. They don't get them.
Don't wish for this area. Tell us to make the engine knock.
Well, this operation has drawn widespread condemnation online. Conducting demolitions at night, allegedly with thugs beating residents and looting property, violates both procedures and basic human rights standards. Let's take some tweets. This is from Gbadebo Rose Survivor, who wrote, "Government cannot exist only for the interest of the rich. In a state that is over 75% poor, you cannot justify coming like a thief at midnight to demolish people's houses without giving them time to move their belongings. These lands are being appropriated to be sold for huge amounts. Those costs must factor in a dignified, honest, and transparent relocation program for all those affected. The Lagos government cannot solely exist to serve the interests of the rich. It is #our Lagos." Another ex-user wrote, "This is pure lawlessness and wickedness, demolishing people's homes in the middle of the night while they're still inside. That's not enforcement. That's an inhumane act, even in a country where order is fading. This level of disregard for human life is terrifying. Lagos deserves better governance, not midnight terror against its own citizen." Another ex-user wrote, "This is what we call made in Lagos, Nigeria. You demolished a building in the night when you can barely see anyone needs to be rescued due to the demolition, or if something needs to be protected first. Demolition companies need to think about health and safety before using that machine. Sadly, most of these companies' founders obtain their licenses not by going through the knowledge of demolition. Lagos State government, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, while visiting other great cities, should explore the demolition companies and check how it's done. health and safety is important. I mean, Dr. Patti, this is huge because it's not just infringing of people's rights. There's also the health hazards associated with demolishing a property. But in a swift rebuttal, the Lagos State government or the Lagos State Police Command defended the demolition exercise with Public Relations Officer Abimbola Adebisi denying reports of illegal action and officer misconduct during the exercise. Well, in an official statement, the police asserted that the demolition carried out by the state government agencies followed all legal processes, stating that official notices were given to occupants over several months and compensation had been paid to those affected. And we're getting reports that some leaders in the community are insisting that no compensation was given to them before this new round of demolitions. As we speak, there are talks of protests that will be going on the third mainland bridge by residents of those that have been affected. Meanwhile, senior advocate of Nigeria and human rights lawyer Femi Falana has accused the Lagos State government of carrying out unlawful demolition in Oworonshoki. Falana stated that the Lagos State High Court had previously issued an interim order to halt further demolitions, but the state government allegedly acted in flagrant breach and contempt, and he argued that the action by the Lagos State government is a mockery of the rule of law. Well, the Lagos State government has defended the action as necessary to remove illegal floodplain structures to prevent flooding, saying it has started compensation payments of up to 300,000 naira to verified claimants. Well, the government also held a ceremony at the Palace of Oworo Kingdom, supervised by the Lagos State Urban Renewal Agency, to present checks to 79 Oworo community residents. I mean, we have images here, we have pictures to show that the Lagos State government did offer these residents compensation. Dr. Patti, I'd like for you to unpack all the stories. Okay. First of all, the fact that they actually disregarded a Lagos State High Court order, as Femi Falana has said, and demolishing people's property in the middle of the night.
Okay, there are many dimensions to this. The legal dimension, the equity dimension, the traditional dimension, the ethnic and political dimension. Let me take them one by one. Now, both Amnesty International and Mr. Femi Falana, SAN, are saying that there is a subsisting court order which says do not demolish these people's houses until the matter before the court has been determined. Now, if it is true that the Lagos State government went ahead to demolish, as Femi Falana, SAN, claims, about 100 houses, then, of course, that is questionable. We expect that our government will respect the rule of law. When matters are pending before courts of law, government should be responsible enough and not engage in the act of impunity of disobeying the court of law. That is the legal part of it. There's also the traditional part of it. The people of Oworonshoki, they are saying, particularly in the Ojulari community, that their Baale is also complicit. You will expect that a traditional ruler would defend the interest of his people. But they are saying that the Baale of Oworonshoki has a case to answer because they claim that he was the one who even invited the police when the people were protesting. And there have been reports of people being brutalized and also being tear-gassed yesterday by the people of the community, on the basis of which the people are now threatening that they will lock down Third Mainland Bridge this morning. I do not think that the people, no matter how aggrieved they may be, should take the laws into their hands and then lock down the Third Mainland Bridge, and other innocent Nigerians who will need to do business between the mainland and the island will now have to suffer for either the negligence of government or the negligence of the Baale of Oworonshoki. The third part of it has to do with how the state government is treating all of this. Tokumbo Wahab, who is the commissioner in charge of housing or environment.
Environment and water resources.
Yes, it was on Arise TV over the weekend, and he said that, look, the government of Lagos State is only acting in line with the law, with environmental regulations. And there is a 2013 law that says that, look, the Lagos State or ruling of the Supreme Court that says that the state government has the right to regulate planning, physical planning, and building structures within its jurisdiction. And that in Oworonshoki, as well as in trade fair, that what you have is that these people have violated the law. Right. And that the Lagos state government is just enforcing the law, removing illegal structures which are constituting a menace to environmental safety in Lagos state. Mm-hmm. We say that, look, why the law is important, while we say also that the government must respect the rule of law, now government must have a human face.
This is the point.
The big danger in it is that people are now reading ethnicity and politics into it. When it was the turn of the people at trade fair, the argument was that, Igbos are being targeted in Lagos state, Igbo buildings are being demolished. Now it's Oworonshoki.
All right, Dr. Bati,
it is Yoruba people.
We have limited time, but at the end of the day, you are absolutely right. The fact that the government has to have a human face in this whole thing is the major point,
But
Dr.
the politics
Bati.
now is that people of Oworonshoki are saying that they voted for APC, that they are APC supporters. Now they are demolishing houses of APC supporters in Oworonshoki. But Tokunbo says it's about law. Yeah. It's about regulation. And that people must learn in Lagos State to respect the rule of law. However, it is a question of how the government of Lagos State wants to be remembered.
Right. All right. I wish we all had a moment to speak on this, because the idea that these people went in the middle of the night and you heard some people saying, there are people living in there, I think it is really absurd and it's completely inhumane. I think this is the point that should be stressed really as well. There should be some also sort of a relocation order as well from the Lagos State government for these residents that are clearly aggrieved. Well, we'll head over to Anambra State now, where Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo has stirred controversy after announcing cash rewards for every ward won by his party, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, in the forthcoming November 8 governorship election. While speaking on Saturday during the party's campaign rally, Soludo promised to give 1 million naira to any ward that wins, while the first 3 performing wards will get 5 million naira, 2 million naira, and 1 million naira respectively. Well, let's take a look before we take some reactions.
Now, can we get there? Uno ega batasia next week. Uno kana latasia kana menka. We will another prize. Maka November 8. November 8. Another challenge. Another challenge. Another challenge. No room banine ward up win. Uno win ran a ward on another 1 million again. Mana no room banine ward up first, they want 5 million. Ward up second, they want 3 million. Ward up third, they want 2 million. After November 8th, can do ward up first, get that.
Rufai, this pledge has provoked backlash from opposition parties and civil society organizations who describe the move as open inducement, vote buying, and abuse of office. I'll take some tweets. This is from Asawa, who wrote, "That kind of promise raises serious ethical questions. Offering financial rewards tied to votes can blur the line between motivation and manipulation. Elections should be about good governance and trust, not monetary incentives. Leadership built on loyalty, not money, lasts longer." Another ex-user wrote, "This is strong evidence of a non-performing governor. Good governance speaks for itself. You don't need to reward people to deliver your mandate if you're performing. Encouraging vote buying is a sign of failed administration. Shame on this man." Well, the Anambra State Commissioner for Information, Dr. Law Mefo, has dismissed the accusations, describing the governor's promise as a simple act of motivation to energize supporters. Before, I know we've discussed this, but I want to also tie in this story so we can discuss both really quickly. Meanwhile, 6 members of the National Youth Service Corps have filed a lawsuit against the Anambra State government, Chukwuma Soludo, and the state's vigilante group, Agunechemba, demanding 1 billion naira in damages over an alleged assault and unlawful detention. The corps members whose assault by gun-wielding vigilante operatives, including the reported beating and stripping of one victim, was captured in a viral video in August. The corpers are seeking compensation for the mental, physical, and psychological trauma suffered after being falsely accused of being internet fraudsters. While in the lawsuit filed before the Federal High Court in Awka, the plaintiffs are also requesting the court to declare their abuse unconstitutional and to compel the respondents to issue written public apology in national and local newspaper. I love the way that citizens take up their rights at this point. I think that it is quite instructive that they were able to go ahead to sue the government. I mean, this Agune Chemba, we've seen that they've been harassing people for a while. Rufai.
You see, all the stories just show a thread of lawlessness.
Correct.
It is only in a lawless country that there's going to be a court order and they will still go ahead and hurt people and do demolition in the night. But in the same country, the police now expects everybody to respect their court order of protest. You can see the lawlessness and the hypocrisy. It is also part of the lawlessness that makes a professor be announcing monetary inducement for votes.
During a rally.
During a rally leading up to an election. This is the same professor that said he will turn the place into Dubai. If he has truly turned the place into Dubai, all he should just say to the electorate is, I remember I've turned this place into Dubai, vote for me. But because clearly the place has not been turned into Dubai, what has it been turned to? It has been turned into a beating parlor when NYSC members are being beaten due to Agune Chemba activity, and now they are being taken to court. So it's a cacophony of lawlessness. But the funny thing is that this government now think that they will not enforce the law.
Agune Chemba means the lion that protects the community.
Yes.
Maybe they have to do something about that name, because I don't see how lions can protect a community.
All right, very well.
And these lions in Anambra, they are now devouring the community.
We've heard so many stories about
them. It's a problem
really,
about even the nomenclature of
Agune
Chemba.
Well, all right. We'll head over to Edo State now, where Aisha Wahab, the 22-year-old girl from Auchi who was abducted 2 weeks ago, regained her freedom over the weekend after a 20 million naira ransom was paid to secure her release. Human rights activist Harrison Gwamanishu, who helped secure her release, called out the Edo State government for failing to collaborate with rescue efforts. Well, in a post on Instagram, Gwamanishu, who is the founder of Behind Bars Human Rights Foundation, said security agencies and the Edo State government failed to respond to calls for collaboration during efforts to rescue Aisha, and as such, he couldn't move in to capture her abductors. Gwamanishu explained that certain technical equipment required for the rescue operation could only be deployed with official authorization, which was not granted despite repeated attempts to reach the authorities. Well, in a heartwarming video, Gwamanishu shared the moment Aisha was released.
Jesus. Oh, yeah, turn. Sorry. Take care. No worry.
Aisha, how do you feel?
I feel so happy, I'm hot. Thank you.
Mama, shall I tell you say your picking will come out today?
Yeah, you tell me, you try.
And she came out.
God go help you.
Nah, assalamu alaikum go thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
What do you do me?
Assalamu alaikum.
God will go bless you.
Assalamu alaikum.
This is so heartwarming. A true patriot, Gwamanishu also confirmed, adding 5 million naira to the 15 million naira reportedly raised. This incident highlights critical gaps in security coordination and government responsiveness to kidnapping cases. I reached out to Gwamanishu himself, and he confirmed that he's now in touch with the Department of State Services for better collaboration. I mean, kudos to the DSS for also reaching out to him. And I'm happy to hear that there's some sort of collaboration with the Department of State Services and Gwamanishu. This is the sort of news that we want to hear. But I mean, calling out the Edo State government.
Yeah, a very sad one there. And I hate that we have to politicize lives.
Yes.
In this instance, Aisha, because the PDP and the APC in the state have been trading words. But the truth has to be said. The Edo State government despite what Mr. Kasim Afegwa had said to the PDP that they were on top of things with accuracy and equity, did next to nothing in this situation.
Yes.
In fact, ransom, which there has often been said by security agents in Nigeria, was paid in this instance. And that's why we keep saying that the reason why ransom payment cannot stop or has not stopped is because the people feel helpless, number one. Number two, the state security operatives did nothing, even when this private citizen asked for collaboration with them. It is high time the governor stopped going around politicking and finally get down to the business of governance in the state. Instead of going around advocating and campaigning for the president, let him give those state people what he promised them during campaign season and actually be governor in that state. And that's what we're asking. I think it's quite a shame that it got to this point where they said trading was over human life. Human life. Very sad. Very
Every
sad.
life matters.
Everyone.
It is so important that the government has to show this human face that we're asking for. I did reach out to the Edo State government and my response was not so encouraging. My producer also reached out to the Edo State Police Command. They did not respond to her.
They've only been defensive
Yes,
and they didn't do right by this woman.
Fantastic.
Thanks to all those who stood up for her in the time
everybody.
of need.
I mean, thank you. Thank you. Welcome home, Aisha. And thank you, Harrison Gwamenishu. We'll take our good news report now, celebrating a groundbreaking initiative by Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan, who is set to distribute locally assembled electric vehicles to over 100 of her constituents in Kogi Central Senatorial District. The initiative, which forms part of her annual constituency empowerment program, marks the first large-scale introduction of made-in-Nigeria electric vehicles for community use. Well, Senator Uduaghan described the project as part of her ritual of giving back, but this time with a futuristic twist that promotes sustainability, innovation, and self-reliance. Beneficiaries will be drawn mainly from women, farmers, and small business owners. The initiative represents a paradigm shift in constituency empowerment projects across Nigeria. Rather than distributing traditional motorcycles or grinding machines, Senator Akpoti Uduaghan introduced her constituents to green technology while addressing economic challenges. The vehicles are locally assembled using Nigerian materials and labor, demonstrating that homegrown solutions to environmental and economic challenges are achievable. The project positions Kogi Central as a pioneer in Nigeria's clean mobility drive. Well, congratulations to the good people of Kogi Central and Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan, the game changer. The benefits of these electric vehicles are multifaceted. Farmers can now transport produce to markets more efficiently. Business owners can cut logistic costs, and transport operators increase profits while reducing dependence on expensive petrol. Congratulations, Natasha. Well, more on good news. West Africa's largest air carrier, Air Peace, has expanded its international operations by officially commencing direct flight services between Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja and London Heathrow, United Kingdom. Well, the inaugural flight took off in Abuja on Sunday, marking the second direct London route for the carrier after Air Peace commenced its Lagos-London flight services in March 2024. Festus Keyamo, Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, affirmed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's clear mandate is to fully support local operators to ensure their businesses thrive and survive. While the Chief Executive Officer of the airline, Allen Onyema, lauded the government's support, saying that when the government does what is right, we must commend them.
When the government is listening to the yearnings and aspirations of the people, or the complaints and challenges of the people, this is what we need. It's not just about Air Peace. And let every airline in this country speak up for what this regime has done for them. Don't keep quiet. It's not only when the things, not so good things are done, that we all shout. When the government is doing that which is right, let us applaud them and commend them. So today what we are celebrating is absolute patriotism, absolute love for one's country. APIS is no longer Allen Onyema and his family. APIS is Nigeria. The entire country owns APIS. Before now, you were paying over $12,000 to go to the UK. But today, because of the support of Mr. President, who has made it possible for an indigenous firm to grow, you are now going to be paying for business class about $3,000 only. What motivates us in APIS when we see the thousands of faces of people we brought out of doldrum to feed themselves and their families, that is our motivation. That is the real patriotism. If you harm Dangote Industries, thinking that you're harming Dangote, you're wasting your time. He doesn't need anything again in his life. Touch him and you touch the very fabric of this country. We must begin to see beyond our notice and support private investment. This president supports private investment. Therefore, I call on other government agencies to please look at their president, who is a businessman and wants every indigenous business in this country to survive.
Well, made in Nigeria, congratulations. This expansion represents a significant milestone in Nigeria's aviation sector and economic sovereignty. For decades, foreign airlines dominated international routes from Nigeria while local carriers struggled to compete. AirPeace's Abuja-London route demonstrates that with proper government support, Nigerian airlines can hold their own on competitive international routes. Congratulations to the AirPeace team. Congratulations to the CEO, Allen Onyema.
Well, very briefly, congratulations to AirPeace. This is salute to ambition on the part of Mr. Allen Onyema himself, vision also on his part, patriotism also on his part. He always shows up, stands up to defend Nigeria's interests, and he has done it in the aviation industry brilliantly. The second point, he paid tribute to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, both on the issue of FOB 4% that the Tinubu administration listened to, and also in terms of the achievements of Festus Keyamo, SAN, as Minister of Aviation, how he has been cooperating with that industry.
Right.
And he called on other players in that industry to continue to support government.
Said. All right, well said, Dr. Abati, well said. Fantastic. Congratulations to AirPeace team, Allen Onyema. I wanted to highlight our milestone, celebrate Chief Kensington Adebutu, popularly known as Baba Ijewu, who marked his 90th birthday with a grand celebration held in a co-hotel in Lagos, attracting numerous prominent Nigerians to mark the entry to the revered League of Non-Nigerians. I'll bring that story up tomorrow for our viewers. Again, we have great strides from Aliko Dangote to Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and to Allen Onyema, making
Baba Ijebu.
Baba Ijebu, absolutely happy 90th birthday to him, making Nigeria great. I wish we had more time on What's Trending today. I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.